Beautiful night for baseball, and we're going to play one at Seton Catholic. Good evening, everyone. I'm Joe Pequeno. Brian Stevenson and his team off to a great start, a record of 4-0. And here they are back on home turf for the first time in 2026, taking on Ben Franklin. Ben Franklin starting the year at 2-1. And a young man on the mound going to get the opportunity to wheel and deal on the mound, and that is Carter Hutchinson, a freshman. And defensively behind Hutch as we go through, and at first base, it'll be Alex Gherkin. At second base, Nate Mulligan. Chase Reese at short. Jason Ruiz at third. Your outfielders are Dean Snow, Jacob Zement, and Noah Donovan. And I bet you're saying, Joe, who is his battery mate? Please don't sell us short. And behind the dish tonight is Marshall Erpenbeck. And his, I want to say his mother or family members out here. And she has got her Seton colors. And she's so excited to be here for the new year. And she was very complimentary of our telecast last year. So that is Seton as the throw is down, and starting lineup for Ben Franklin. And we'll get into the particulars of how everyone's doing. They're going to start off with Cruz Hansen, Alex Pazinski, Owen Firestein, Colton Stechnig, Talon Spire, Giovanni Sanchez, Blake Seedig, Jet Garman, and Julian Sanchez. Hutchinson dialing in on Erpenbeck. That's going to be a fastball upstairs for ball one. Gorgeous night for baseball. Temperatures, of course, earlier today hitting over the 90s, which is kind of rare for Arizona temperatures this time of year. Hutchinson, this one is blasted to right field. Going back, and this one's going to be over his head. It's going to the wall. And on his way to second base, standing up and getting things going in a big way is Cruz Hansen with the leadoff double. A bomb to right, just over the head of Noah Donovan in right field. Now stepping up to the plate is Alex Pazinski, the second baseman. So right at the gates, first pitch fastball, and that thing is rocked about a good 300 feet and then some. Pazinski, small ball, going back, and Hutch with some issues, and it's immediately first and third. So, you know, for the young man on the mound, no question, he's battling some nerves, and right out of the gates, just got to take a deep breath and realize life's okay. He'll be fine. Now, checking in with a great baseball name, Owen Firestein. That's a quality baseball name. Runners going, bounce it to short. Run will concede, they'll throw over, high throw at first base. And Pazinski runs into Garman at first base. Runner advances, quickly one out. So give Firestein the fielder's choice as Hansen scores. Pazinski on the way to second. Now at the dish, Colton Stechnig, who's pitching. Little bouncer to second base. Good clean hop. And the toss over. Nate Mulligan, easy 4-3 put out. And now young Hutchinson is in a zone. And here is Talon Spire, who is a flat-out amazing athlete. Last we saw him was on the basketball courts for Ben Franklin. They lost in the Copper division to Valley Christian, a close game, only by 2. And that's a nice breaker by Hutchinson right there that bends over for strike one. Started quickly. Hansen, a double. Pazinski got on an error. Fielder's choice by Firestein. Stechnig, the 4-3 put out, runner at third, and here we are with Talon Spire. 1-1 count, 2 outs. Gorgeous night for baseball. And I have to ask if Paulo Hutchison is related to Carter Hutchison. And I don't have that answer because Carter's bouncing back and forth, or I should say Paulo's bouncing back and forth from the live stream for softball. Softball team won earlier behind the great pitching of Brooks Zulaga, who also almost took one out of the yard as well. So a great performance by the young lady, a senior who's on her way to Miami of Ohio to play softball and throw the javelin. Brooke quite gifted in that skill as well. Spire, 2 strikes, 1-2 count with Hutchison. This one blasted up the middle. RBI base knock by maybe the best athlete on the field in Talon Spire. Had a chance to talk to the coaching staff, and he plays just about anything and everything. And supposedly, baseball is his love, but he needs to say they just got him from basketball just last week. And here he is blasting a base knock, and 2 runs are in. Stepping up at the plate, Giovanni Sanchez, the catcher. 2 outs, Hutchison looking at Spire. Spire is a good athlete. He's got good speed. He is a threat to run. Mark my word. I've seen him run up and down the basketball court. He's always going DEFCON 1, and if he gets his opportunity, he'll do it here. High fastball, misses, goes to 1-0. So Seton off to a tremendous start. Will break things down in the course of the contest. Brian Stevenson's got a young group, and their 4 victories, they've rallied for all 4. And there goes Talon Spire and works his way in. Stolen base. So that is not surprising. Now Sanchez with an opportunity. 1-1 count. Outfield, medium depth. Third base, Jason Ruiz. Step behind the bag at third. And that bounces in the dirt, and Marshall behind the plate. Erpenbach doing a nice job. 2-1 count. Usually this time of year when the temperature drops, gets cold, but quite comfortable. And Spire steals third base. So 2 stolen bases, and not surprised. Now Sanchez can pick him up, and it'll be a tremendous start for Ben Franklin. Coaching staff for Ben Franklin feels they're about a year away. The lefty they got going tonight, and Colton Stechnig, throws in the mid-80s and can still has a lot of potential, being that he's only a sophomore. So he's got a lot of time and a lot of pounds to put on, and think about another 40, 50 pounds on him, what that would do for him. 2-2. That's a nice bender right there, and that's fouled down the left field line. So Sanchez turned on one, just a tad bit out in front, and we'll do it all over again. 2-2 count. Carter Hutchison trying to get out of this frame. That's a fastball, and that's a tad out in front by Sanchez. That time off the netting at third base. So Hutchison, a couple pitches go through a curveball, through a fastball. Now you got to figure the breaker is coming. And that misses in the dirt. It goes full. On deck is Blake Seedig, the shortstop. Ben Franklin bringing the energy. Last time they played Seton, they were hammered. We'll touch on that in the bottom half. 3-2. Slow ground ball. Bang, bang play, and they do get him out. Mulligan on the throw over. But it's anything but a 1-2-3 inning for Carter Hutchison. Cruz Hansen with a leadoff double. Couple runs score as he ignites in the leadoff spot. We go to the home half. Sentinels trailing 2-0. So here we go for Seton, bottom of the first. And it all starts with my boy, Nate Mulligan, Jason Ruiz, and Chase Reese. Nate Mulligan, who, no question, I can't be the only person that's ever said this, looks identical to Timothy Chalamet. And as Adam Sandler would say, Chalamet.
You say that every time.
Needs to say, here we go, as I digress. Now I get into the ball game, and Nate takes a fastball for strike one. So Seton has really put the rally caps on early. A 10-5 victory over Santa Cruz. A thumping of Casa Grande 13-3. 8-6 victory over McClintock. Make that 8-6 victory over Maricopa. And a good running catch in right field. And the 6-3 victory over McClintock. And that was Cruz Hansen robbing Nate Mulligan of a base hit. And just like I did back in the day, his mom recording every bat, and that's just a beautiful thing to see, and that just shows the dedication of mom. Stepping in, Jason Ruiz. Ruiz, the senior, he's been through the battles. This Seton team last year made the postseason and lost in the second round to Gilbert Christian in a heartbreaking game. Ruiz off to a good start, hitting .357. 5 hits, 14 at-bats, 5 RBIs. He's getting a look at this young man on the mound, the lefty, who snaps one inside, talking to the coaching staff. He's got a fastball, a slider. You saw the breaker right there. Only a sophomore, about 170 pounds. So you got to figure he's got a shot to throw in the 90s if he can just put some muscle on, dedicate to the weight room. Now, easier said than done. That's all comes down to a player's motivation to want to do the extras. And if this young man, Colin Stechnik on the mound, if he could do that, then sky's the limit. Especially as a left-handed pitcher, which is such a need, and they're so few. They're few and far apart, so they're highly coveted on the college circuit. So Ruiz has got a 1-2 count. Stechnik came inside. This time he calls for the old number 1, and Ruiz fouls it off. Mulligan, who started the bottom of the inning, was hitting .400, by the way. Nate is off to a tremendous start. Good to see that for the senior. 1-2 count. Stechnik against Jason Ruiz. Outfield, shallow in center. And that comes inside. Good take by the third baseman. Sentinels coming off the 6-3 victory over the Chargers. And Jason Ruiz in that contest as he takes a ball outside. And unfortunately, as we see, Ruiz was 0 for 4 as he smacks this one to right. So he is back on track with a nice base knock to right field. And here comes Chase Reese, one of my favorites. Chase, who can knock down the 3. And of course, big props to him and the basketball team. A great run, making it to the 3A semifinals and losing to Palo Magnet on a last-second 3. But a tremendous year for Chase and Ashton and all the boys. And Coach Carter Abey. That's a tough bouncer. Stechnig's got to throw, and he fires, and that's going to be an infield single. Such a tough play, and Stechnig fielded that like he came off the mound and wheeled and threw a dart to first base, but Chase has got that great speed, highly athletic, motor down. Of course, he's in great shape from just playing basketball, so he is tremendous. Noah Donovan coming in, 375. 3 hits, 8 at-bats. He has a shot to be a hero here. And Noah looking to do some damage in the 4-hole. 1-0, couple on for the Sentinels. And this one is scorched to left center. And this one is going to roll to the wall. 1 run is in. They're waving the runner at third, and he will stroll in. And how about Noah Donovan? Clutch contact in the gap, plates 2, and we are knotted at 2 in the bottom of the first. And you can hear the Sentinels fans and the Sentinels bench all kinds of excited. And that's tremendous. Here comes sophomore Marshall Erpenbeck. Off to a great start, he's played 3 games, hitting .571. 5 hits, loved ones on hand. They've got their hats, their cameras, their sunglasses, even though the sun's not out right now, but if you look as good as Marshall's loved ones, the sun shines on them 24 hours a day. So there we go. So Donovan, RBI double. Marshall wants to rule the land right here. And Stechnig steps off. So thing right now about Stechnig is that he's just missed one location. That fastball is just laid flat out of the plate. He's got to be able to hit spots. And that's a tailing fastball as for a second the scoreboard went out. And maybe one day, yours truly can get back to Seton, buy the baseball team a new scoreboard. And that's outside. Goes to 3-1. Erpenbeck having a great at-bat, and on deck is Alex Gherkin, the sophomore. 3-1. And a really good AB as Erpenbeck strolls down. Here is Gherkin, the sophomore. 273, 3 hits, 11 at-bats, 4 runs scored, couple of RBIs. He was 1 for 3 in the victory over the Chargers. Tries to advance the runners. And just a little out in front on that bunt attempt. So the Sentinels have bounce back, making some noise. Donovan with the big 2-run double. Couple on. Gherkin at the dish. That time he takes a fastball. Blistered. Outfield, medium depth. Alex Pazinski, the second baseman. Tight. Covering second base. 0-2. And this one is smoked to left. And they're going to bring the runner in. Bang, bang play. And the runner will score. Come on down, Noah Donovan. Alex Gherkin doing things on the home turf. And the Sentinels just knocking the ball all around the yard. And now the pitching coach is going to come out and have a conversation. And while the pitching coach has a conversation and we get a wide look at the field, question is Paulo Hutchinson have anything new? Any new kind of graphics? No, I know he does because he showed me. It's the transition Freddie the Flamingo graphic. And Paulo says he doesn't have it. So I know all those Sentinels fans out there like, Paulo, come on, man. Paulo's mumbling right now, so I'm not quite sure what he's saying. But if you put something in the screen, I'll run with it. At the dish, Dean Snow hitting .375. And Dean Snow pops up, and that is one bunt he wishes he could get back. So now it's going to be the DH in Caden Miller. The senior still looking for his first hit of the year. 5 at-bats, and he's getting some support from his teammates. Takes a fastball across the letters for strike 1. Ben Franklin and Seton Catholic. This is becoming a rivalry in all the sports, honestly. They play just about in everything, usually. In some of the sports, they're in the same regions, and you never know. The AIA regions are different every year, so 1-1 count. Breaker off the plate, and that was a good take by Caden. Stechnik, whose biggest problem this inning is just left the fastball up. Just got to be able to spot it a little better. 2-1. Caden Miller with an opportunity. And just gets under it and fouls it out of play. Over to the track field where Peter Daniel is giving his athletic instruction. Of course, Peter Daniel, his daughter Sierra Daniel, was an elite softball player here, now crushing it at LSU on the Bayou. 2-2. And that's tap foul back to my side. On deck is Jacob Zyment, the sophomore. Young team, this Sentinels team is. 2-2, couple runners on. And that's outside. Good take by Caden Miller. So the runners will be going. That means full throttle, base hit in the gap, 2 will score, or down the line. Opportunity for Caden Miller to play to pair. 3-2. This one knocked up the middle. Bang, bang play. Shortstop can't make the play. And that's going to be an infield hit for Caden Miller. So great job by Miller hustling down that first base line. And now it's Jacob Zyment, the sophomore. Trying to find himself early on. Takes a nice fastball inside part of the plate. He's got 1 hit in 6 at-bats. Scored a run. and quickly goes to 0-2. On deck is Nate Mulligan. And I'm just wondering, when Nate walks around school, if they do call him Timothy Chalamet. At some point, I'm going to have to ask. And Hannah Thiel, I have a question for you in between innings. I'll ask you now, Hannah. So when Nate Mulligan walks down the hallway at school, do people call him Timothy Chalamet at all? No one does? No one thinks he looks. Am I the only person that thinks he looks like Timothy Chalamet?
I mean, you might be onto something.
Okay.
But I don't think so.
Okay, so I'm the only one who's. I'm crazy, as that's a deep fly to left field, and that's going to do it. Final out, but a productive inning for the Sentinels. They played 3, and we go to the top of the second. Sentinels rebounding and showing their offense. Now leading 3-2.
Good to see you, sir.
We're going to go to the second inning as we look at Ben Franklin and, of course, their head coach, Casey Turgeon, and his son, Dante Turgeon. I covered over at Chandler Gilbert. And Dante, tremendous young man, had a good couple years at Chandler Gilbert, could mash the baseball, playing collegiately now. Ben Franklin off to a 2-1 start. Open with a 10-1 victory over Winslow. Lost to Paradise Honors 12-2. And then decided to just miss the extra point as they beat ALA Anthem South 16-1. And leading off is the shortstop in Blake Seedig, a junior, 1 hit, 5 at-bats on the year. Carter Hutchison now in his second inning of work. And after leading that inning, giving up a leadoff double, gave up a couple runs, and then started dialing it in. Of course, you know, he's a freshman. Nerves are, and the adrenaline are going big time. And one of my favorite people on campus is here. I'm going to see if we can get another headset, and that's Carter Abey, who's just less than 3 feet away. And Carter's decked out in like baseball wear and comfortable, and we'll see if we can get Carter on the mic talking about the season and so forth. Hutchinson goes to 0-2 on Blake Seedig. It'll be Seedig, Jet Garman, and Julian Sanchez for Ben Franklin here in the top of the second. And that's fastball that misses inside. Goes to 1-2. Gorgeous night for baseball. On the gorgeous scale, I'd give this probably about a 58. Just tremendous. That breaker misses upstairs. We have had a very mild winter, and our prayers and thoughts are with all the people back east that are dealing with the cold conditions. Tough hop over at third base, kind of eats up Jason Ruiz. And needs to say, depending on who's scoring, we'll give Blake Seedig a base hit as Jet Garman checks in. Jet Garman, also a tremendous name as well. And we're going to make sure that Garman is settled and situated, and That is correct. He is a sophomore. He's looking for his first hit of the year. This one smoked to center field and deep fly to center for the first out. And stepping up is Julian Sanchez. And Paulo is just working so diligently to get us a second headset. I mean, this guy is just like stealth. You would never know, as I'm calling this, that he is just like doing all kinds of things right now. He's like a ninja. He's got all kinds of Napoleon Dynamite skills. He's got computer hacking skills, nunchuck skills, just tremendous work. Sanchez with a 1-0 count. Carter Hutchison, and this one is rocked down the left field line. Runner on his way to third base, and they're going to hold him up right there. So Sanchez with and the throw back to second base, and they get Sanchez. He got a little greedy, but just a beautiful play. Tremendous work. Great play by the Sentinels defensively, and they get Sanchez. And they get the out. Tremendous for the second out of the inning. And that's a great breaker there by Carter Hutchison, and rightfully so. First time up, Hansen was sitting on a fastball and just almost knocked one out of the yard. A one bouncer to the fence to start the first inning. And he gets another dose of the deuce. Quickly goes to 0-2. Hutchison finding himself after laboring a little bit in that first. His team came back, put a 3-spot up, courtesy of a Noah Donovan 2-run double, 0-2. And that time blows the gas past Cruz Hansen. And there you go. The freshman bouncing back, and Freddie LaFlamingo, he's blowing some gas. And the graphics just get better and better all the time. And usually I got some kind of input, but now I think Paulo's just thinking, what can I do to be hilarious with these things? And they're so good. And like, you can watch live streams all over the Valley. I mean, we're doing things that you don't even see the networks doing, right? We're doing things that the networks should be doing, and they don't do. Because that's what we do next level here. So after this inning, Nate Mulligan will step up to the plate. Nate line to right his first time up. Off to a tremendous start. Top of the order, Nate Mulligan, Jason Ruiz, and Chase Reese. Chase's dad is here. He's a big Seton supporter. His mom also here. Tremendous people. Wonder if Ashton's going to show up. I'm a big fan of that tall, muscular, rebounding force. So Nate, doesn't matter the weather. I think Nate has always got that hoodie in the back of his jersey. And Hannah Thiel, I just asked Hannah Thiel a short time ago, and Hannah's not paying attention whatsoever, but I asked Hannah Thiel if when Nate Mulligan walks down the hallway, people call him Timothy Chalamet. And she said no. No one calls him Timothy Chalamet. You guys don't think he looks like Timothy Chalamet. Are you kidding me? Do you guys know who Timothy Chalamet is? Right? Timothy Chalamet is your generation. He's like our Tom Cruise. He's like our Brad Pitt. You know who Timothy Chalamet is, right? What's that? Jacob who? Look, I don't read Team Geek magazine all the time. I only know a couple players, people here and there. You know, Chalamet, I know. I don't watch Disney and Nickelodeon all the time. I don't know who all these people are.
I think it was like 54-43 or something.
He's in Wuthering Heights. Is that a show on? It's what? Okay. Note to self, be on track with Hannah Thiel. Watch Wuthering Heights so I know what she's talking about. Next time I see you, I'll be well versed. So Nate Mulligan at the dish. He's worked a 3-1 count. And on the mound, Colton Stushnig, who gave up those 3 runs in the first, he's trying to settle in this second inning. Just missed with the fastball in that first inning. That was the biggest problem. And that time fires a dart. And Nate doing what a good leadoff batter does. Taking a strike, trying to get on and jumpstart the inning. 3-2. Now Nate's going to look to put one in play. Chokes up a little bit on the bat. Here it is. This one, a bouncer. Good hop to the shortstop. And Seton with the throw over for the first out. And a bang play because Nate is hustling down that line. Here comes Jason Ruiz, first time up. Jason got things going with a sharp base knock to right field, and then a couple batters later it was Noah Donovan bringing him home with a 2-run double left center. Ruiz at third base tonight. First pitch, and smokes one yet again. And Jason Ruiz, man, I love that. He got a fastball, and there was no messing around on that at bat. That was just flat out raked. Ruiz gets under that a little bit, and that might be hitting the scoreboard out in left center, but a tremendous night for Jason Ruiz. Back-to-back rockets. Chase Reese singled, infield single his first time up. Ruiz with a modest lead at first base. Always difficult to run, and Chase fouls that off his leg. Quickly goes to 0-1. So it's so hard for a runner at first base. If you don't see a lefty move ever, you're almost, you got to like be so close. You can't afford to take a sizable lead, and if you're leaning, forget it. Yours truly, back when man discovered fire, was picked off by a left-handed pitcher back in Little League. Ooh. And Chase Reese, yeah, takes one off his bat, and in the words of the almighty Chris Farley, that's going to leave a mark. And Reese works his way down to first base. And trust me, getting hit by a pitch, doesn't matter where it is, it hurts. And right now, Chase will play through with adrenaline, but no question, that doesn't feel good. Here's Donovan, 2-run double his first time up. Sentinels really working it. Ball bounces in the dirt. And a good play behind the dish by Giovanni Sanchez. Keeps it in front of him. I think the only thing we're missing tonight, the grill going, some dogs, maybe a burger or two, maybe some popcorn, because it is really just a gorgeous night for baseball here. They're checking with the field umpire, and the field umpire said, I'm going to put my arms up and let you know that I saw nothing, and needs to say Noah Donovan did nothing. 2-0 count, Noah Donovan. Couple on. And he gets hit. That slider just bites just a tad. And the bases are stacked. And when I think bases stacked, I think Marshall Erpenbeck. And Marshall looking for a gap. Good speed in the base path. A shot in the gap will score 2. Right field line. Erpenbeck could end up at third base. First pitch from Stechnik, who's labored. Fastball inside. That's a beauty. And Stechnik has to get up high on the throwback from Giovanni Sanchez. On deck is Alec Gherkin. Singled his first time up. And that's another fastball. That whizzes inside. So Erpenbeck. Now 0-2 pitch. And he will go down swinging. Here's Alex Gherkin. Singled, getting the support from the crowd. Just looking for a little gap shot. Big thing is be patient, but you see a good pitch, be on it. First pitch. And now the left-hander, Colton Stechnig, is starting to find the zone. Peppering it, working it, and got Erpenbeck swinging. Now quickly 0-1 on Gherkin. This one knocked in the 6-hole. Good defense by the shortstop. Bang, bang play. And a tremendous play by Blake Seedig for the final out of the inning. He doesn't make that play, a run scores, and we continue this frame. Sentinels leave them stacked and packed. We go to the third. They're up 3-2. So we're going to go to the top of the third, and coming up for Ben Franklin, it's going to be Alex Pazinski, Owen Firestein, and Colton Stechnig, the pitcher, as Carter Hutchison going into his third inning of work. That first frame, a little loose, dialed it up a little bit in the second, starting to get in that comfort zone as a freshman pitcher would. And now I bring in one of my favorite people on the campus of Seton Catholic, the basketball coach, and that is Carter Abey and his team. Tremendous year, making a tremendous run to the 3A semifinals, and just coming up a little bit short to Palo Verde Magnet late in the ball game. A 3 was the difference, and Carter, can't stress enough, you and your team, tremendous year, but the way your kids always handle everything, play with class, and of course in the course of a season, there's a lot of things that can be said about teams we face in the course of a year that don't have the class of Seton Catholic and your team, and always played hard, and just a tremendous year by your boys up and down.
Thank you, Joe. I appreciate it. I mean, as you can tell, we're still kind of hurting just from the same perspective of we didn't want the season to end. We really love this group, and we're really happy with all that they accomplished, but I do feel like we were short of what we were really trying to do. But regardless, extremely proud.
And this one, little cue ball shot, and my goodness, that was like, I kid you not, that was like you're shooting a game of pool and you hit the cue ball and you get that spin that you're trying to roll around a ball to knock the ball in that corner pocket. And that was just one of the toughest infield singles you'll ever see by Alex Pazinski, and you got to give him a single because of the backspin on the ball. So Pazinski on, and here is Owen Firestein, who in his first at bat had a fielder's choice. So Carter, as you were saying about the way the season transpired.
Yeah, we have a great group, and I was really, really happy with the way that things went for us this year. I thought that everyone worked really hard. I thought that we built a really good culture, that we had a group of guys that truly believed that we could make it happen. And so that's why when the semifinal didn't go our way, it was just like heartbreaking. So still sad about it, obviously, but I'm here to watch my guys now. I got Noah Donovan in right field. I got Chase Reese at second base.
And this one is smoked to left, and that's going to drop. So back-to-back singles, and here comes Ben Franklin. And now it's going to be Colton Stechnig, who bounced out to second base his first time up. He can help his cause. Stechnig is, as we mentioned, young man on the mound, a lefty. He's laboring a little bit, but he has the opportunity with a couple on to help his cause. So you're out here supporting your kids, and obviously Chase Reese at shortstop, Noah Donovan playing as well, and you got to love that those two sport athletes, basketball, now baseball, or vice versa, always contributing to Seton in some shape or form.
Of course, and it's just an excuse for us to get together. Like, I know you can't see them on video, but I got my coaches behind me, so they're supporting the guys too. Little do people know that, like, Drew Campana played for us in the basketball season. Nate Mulligan played for us a couple years back. So got a lot of former guys out there. Got Carter Hutchinson on the mound, freshman pitching. So we're definitely sharing athletes, but I love it.
And this is a high chop. Chase Reese, bang, bang play. He'll just have to go to first base. That throw is off the mark, so a run will score, and now we are even Steven at 3 apiece. And my goodness, that was like an old-fashioned AstroTurf hop. And the thing about these fields this time of year, look, Arizona, as we know, we've had a very mild winter, not a lot of water, and these fields are baked, so that's kind of the old-fashioned AstroTurf base hit, Carter.
It really was. Took a bad hop.
So needless to say, the bad throw over at first base, a run is in, and now Talon Spire, who had an RBI, well, I should say he's had a RBI and a base knock earlier and stole a couple bases. He is up, and he's always a tough out. And now they're going to say the old-fashioned pick play. And they're going to say so essentially they're calling a balk because what happened, Seton Catholic was trying to pull the pick play at second base, but what happened, Carter Hutchison was on the mound, which you're not supposed to do, so that advances the runner. So a little bit of a turbulent inning here for Hutchison and the Sentinels, but plenty of time. It's only 4-3, runner at third. Spire at the plate, who is a tremendous player. Of course, Carter, you're familiar with him at Ben Franklin and how good he is. And he plays multiple sports, baseball, basketball. The coaches say he steps on any playing field, doesn't matter. For Ben Franklin, he flat out delivers. But, you know, what I love to see as I sit here and see you is that it's not just about basketball for you and your coaches. You guys are great friends, and I think that's tremendous. Tom Lease, who does a tremendous job. Ernie Cornea, can't stress enough, and that it goes beyond basketball. You guys have known each other forever, and I think where this program is, it's a product of you and the men you brought with you to help cultivate this great environment.
Well, thank you, Joe. And, I mean, you are just as much as part of molding these young men as we are. You do a great job of getting them excited to come talk to you, working on their professionalism, working on doing a public speaking performance, things that they need to improve upon. So you definitely make this experience enjoyable, and you make it memorable for them. But my staff over there are guys that I truly trust. I've known them since I was in college. I wouldn't be here without them. So with us being together, it's not work by any means. Like, we love what we do, so we don't work a day in our lives. So my staff is someone who, when we're not at Seton, we're talking about Seton. When we're not in practice, we're talking about our guys. When we're always together, it's thinking about ways for us to improve and ways for us to accomplish our ultimate goal. So I love working with these guys, showing up every single day, and it being a part of our family makes it to where it doesn't even feel like we're working. We're just enjoying hanging out together.
Sure. And Carter, the thing about next year, I mean, you've got a strong nucleus. You got Ryan Morris, you've got Ashton Reese, and Henry Hoops, who I think is going to take the next level. He's more than capable of being a 20-plus scorer easily.
Agreed.
And, you know, I think you got some other good pieces. You know, here's a player I'm going to throw out that I just want to see him hit the weight room. And I think Milo Dillatore can do some things if he pounds the weights a little bit.
I agree as well. I think that Milo is kind of a hidden gem where he's a JV menace. Like, he plays a lot, does a lot of good things for JV, but people haven't really gotten a full experience of him on the varsity setting. If you watched us over the Thanksgiving tournament, he actually had like the game-winning free throw or a game-winning floater for us.
Yeah.
So he has a little bit of varsity experience. He doesn't have enough, and that's my fault. I take responsibility for that. But he's someone who I think is going to be a huge part of our team's success next year.
Yeah, I can't. And that's a big strikeout as Spire goes down, and that is the first out of the inning. And coming in is Giovanni Sanchez, who bounced to second his first time up. So, Carter, I know you're thinking basketball 24/7.
All the time.
And you have to be. The great coaches are always thinking. You're thinking about the last game, maybe thinking about what could potentially this or that, or as this one is skied down the third base line, and coming in and grabbing it is Chase Reese. And Reese brings that in. And he doubles off the runner. So a mistake by Ben Franklin. So for you, Carter, I know the season never stops. You're thinking basketball year-round. So you lose some pieces this year. So what's going to be some of the biggest challenges for you for next year?
I mean, obviously we're losing our leading scorer, who's averaging 25 points per game and shooting 43% from three, so that's going to be a little bit of a challenge for us. We're losing Damian Howard as our power forward, who's versatile, who can guard multiple positions. We're losing a senior captain in Benny, who's someone who just keeps our team together and keeps us calm, cool, and collected all the time. We're losing our 6'4" post player, Jack Heim. We're losing our all-star athlete, R.J. Fogarty. We're losing the man, the myth, the legend, T. Shep. And we're losing our shooter, Chase Reese. So it's going to be difficult to replace guys like that just because they are so special, and there's people that are one of a kind. They're
Sure.
not people that are going to be able to be replaced. But yeah, my bad. But in general, we have a good group of guys that are returning. I'm really, really happy with Ryan Morris and the way that he's coming along. I think Ashton Reese is only going to get better with time.
I agree.
What's nice is that sophomore to junior leap, maturity and physically, is a really, really big year for kids. And so who knows, Ryan Morris over the summer might be a couple inches taller. Ashton Reese might be 10 pounds heavier. So you never really know what the future holds. Obviously, you see a lot of really good things in Henry Miller. I think he's only going to get better, but he's also on people's radar now. So people are going to be game planning for him. There's going to be scouting reports to try to prevent him from scoring. So it's going to be how his mental takes being face guarded and how he's able to sacrifice in order for us to be successful. But I think Milo De La Torre, I think Noah Donovan, I think Robert Burns,
Yeah.
I think those are guys that are really, really valuable guys that haven't really gotten to showcase what they're capable of doing.
And I think the great thing for your program is that you have Tom and Ernie working with the JV team, and they're basically all the kids that are coming up through the program, they're learning your system. So it's like when they come up, there's obviously, there's the learning curve of getting the playing time, but the system's in place. They know the plays. They know exactly where they should be. Of course, there's the hit and misses of going through the games and feeling out and knowing exactly how to execute everything. But the fundamentals are in place for them to succeed.
Absolutely. Schematically, it's very similar from freshman to JV to varsity. We run a lot of similar stuff. Obviously, just pace of play and physicality is the biggest difference when you get to varsity and JV. But in general, they run a lot of the same stuff. And so we're instilling principles in them from their freshman year to where when they're a senior, it just is second nature. They don't even have to think about it. It's just muscle memory at that point.
Dean Snow leading off. Dean is first time up. Popped out. He'll be followed by Caden Miller and Jacob Simon. Sentinels now down 4-3 after Ben Franklin scored a pair in the top of the third. Carter, are you a big baseball player? I know you were a standout basketball player back in your day. I mean, you averaged a triple-double your senior year.
I was a pretty good high school basketball player, and because of that, I dedicated a lot of time to basketball. So I didn't ever get a chance to play in high school. I played in middle school, played with my friends. I enjoyed getting the glove and playing some catch, but I was a terrible batter. It is so hard to hit a knuckleball or a curveball. Like any off-speed pitch, no chance. So props to these guys for being able to do something extremely difficult like this.
Wow. See, I think you would be a good hitter because I think, well, is it one of those things for you back in the day when you get in the box because you were, look, because basketball came so easy, you're like, oh, I can do this. And then you realize you step in the play and you're like, okay, it's not as easy. And maybe you got a little frustrated by chasing things and just never got into a good groove.
Yeah, and I just kind of picked it up late where people once they're in 7th grade, 8th grade are already throwing pretty good speed and they have pretty good control in their pitches, where I'm used to people like, all right, like here comes the pitch, and then I'm going to have it like almost like a batting practice instead of actually trying to strike me out. So baseball wasn't really my go. I'm more of a basketball guy, played a little bit of volleyball, but in general, basketball is always my main forte. Love the game though, love watching it.
And going down to second base and with the stolen base is Dean Snow. And Caden Miller now goes to a 1-2 count, and once again, Jacob Zymut on deck.
Yeah, but I love it just because it's always after basketball season. Some of my basketball guys play baseball. The weather's nice. It's a perfect time just to come outside and watch some ball.
And I think it's great for you that you're so like, look, I want you playing another sport. I want you staying in shape. And this one blasted to left field. Going back, the left fielder, he's got room at the track, and he's going to bring that in. Tremendous play in left field by Garmin, and the runner will tag up and go to third base, but Caden Miller about 5 feet away of giving the Sentinels a 5-3 advantage, but give them some credit. Sac fly to left field, advances the runner.
Yeah, right at the warning track there. I held my breath on that one.
Yeah, just got under it just a tad. Now it's Jacob Zymut who checks in, and Jacob, he popped to left his first time up. Well, Carl, I can't stress enough, it's always a pleasure seeing the team. Tremendous run, great kids, class program, and your coaches are outstanding. Everything you do, you've been a blessing to Seton when you've walked on from day one.
Thank you, Joe.
You've transitioned the program. Everyone that comes and watches your team, there's an excitement, there's a buzz, and you're a highly respected throughout Arizona as a basketball coach, and you and your coaching staff are doing tremendous things here, and the future is so bright for the three of you and everything you do and touch here at Seton.
I truly appreciate you, Joe. I mean, this season was remarkable, and you were a big part of it. So.
And Paulo Hutchison,
Of
who
course.
comes up with all the live streams and the great grok videos and everything that Paulo does as he sits back and tries to take a little credit in the old Paulo way he does, right?
Of course. He's humble.
He's humble.
Too humble.
Yes.
He's a guy that does a lot of the heavy lifting to make this possible, and he's just too humble.
Yes, and that's going to drop in. And Zyman with the RBI single.
There we go, tied up.
And we are knotted, a back and forth affair. And Carter Abey bringing some good luck to the Sentinels in this home half as Zyman with the RBI single to right.
Let's keep
it
going.
Now, Carter, before I let you go, do you know who Timothy Chalamet is?
I do.
I've been saying, now, you know, Hannah Thiel, who's on the volleyball team, and I've
my guy
asked,
Nate Mulligan up here?
I think Nate Mulligan is Timothy Chalamet. I think he looks identical
He
to
is.
him.
He's our Seton Catholic Chalamet. That's what that is.
Exactly.
For
so
sure.
It's just not me then.
It's not you. You're not the only one. He's someone who's calm, cool, and collected, just like him, and he's someone who's just super humble.
Yes, and that's what I thought, because every time he comes up, I do the old Adam sound. I go, Chalamet, because he looks just like him. And needs to say, as he takes a ball inside and quickly goes to a 2-0 count.
He's a pretty good basketball player, too.
Yeah, good basketball player, good baseball player, and, you know, he can do a little bit of everything that he touches that turns the gold here on campus. So for you this spring, and obviously it's winding down, any big plans for the summer?
Yeah.
Travel plans
Sure.
to enjoy life?
Surprisingly enough, so my girlfriend's actually getting her doctorate degree, and so she's a wildlife biologist. And so she goes to South Africa for a couple months at a time just to go work on the wildlife buffalo out there, focus on diseases and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And so I'm actually going to go out to South Africa at the end of May here. So fingers crossed. Keep me in your prayers.
Wow. What is the most exciting thing are you looking forward to seeing on that trip?
What's really cool is they actually stay at a national park. And so where she's staying is almost like you're just doing a safari like every day. So you'll have to go on a bunch of different trips to go out and
Runner down to second big. Zyman, bang, bang play.
Nice.
And they're going to say he is in as the ball gets out to center field. So,
but yeah, just going and immersing myself in the wildlife, I think it'll be a lot of fun. Something that she's been doing for a couple years now, so I get to kind of get like a glimpse into her life.
there you go. Carter Abey with some big summer plans on his way to South Africa. His team, tremendous run this season, a lot to be proud of. And, of course, with Carter and his coaching staff and all the good young athletes on campus, we can expect a lot more as the bouncer, and that's a bad throw, but a good pick by the first baseman. The runner at second is held. Carter, always a pleasure.
Joe, thank you for having me.
That
Glad
is,
you're here, man.
Thank you. That is the great Carter Abey, and now we got a couple outs as Nate bounces out and moves the runner or holds the runner, and now it's Jason Ruiz is now stepping in, and all Jason Ruiz has done is gone 2 for 2. A couple of hard base knocks all over the place. 4-4 ball game. It's been kind of an up and down affair, all kinds of things going on, and Paulo making sure that all things are situated with the microphones, and now Jason Ruiz at the plate with Zyman, who had that RBI base knock to tie this one up. Ruiz having a tremendous night. Takes one upstairs, and what I really like about Jason Ruiz tonight, he's been quick with the bat. He's seen and he's been and just tattered good fastballs in his belt. He's controlled the zone, and he's just mashed. Now he's got a 2-0 count, perfect hitter's count, and does a tremendous job. He's not forcing it. Sometimes as a hitter, you go 2 for 2, and then you start chasing, and then you make things easy for the pitcher. Right now, Jason Ruiz is dialed in against the lefty Stechnik. 3-0 count with Chase Reese on deck. And that sails upstairs, and Stechnik wanted nothing to do with Jason Ruiz. So a pair on, and here comes Chase Reese. Base knock, infield, first time up, last time up, took one off his back. Zyman at second. Ruiz at first. Chase with an opportunity. And Chase will lay off. Chase's dad is here. Chase's mom is here. The whole family is here. Chase laying off the high fastball to start the at-bat. And that time, a beauty by Stechnik. Took something off, just peppered the corner. But I like Chase's approach because he just saw Jason Ruiz walk on 4 pitches. So he's making Stechnik come into the zone. 1-1 count. 2 on, 2 out. High chopper, second baseman, and decides to go the old-fashioned route, the flip, and the final out. But the Sentinels do a tremendous job. They tie it on the Zymut RBI base knock. Even game, 4 apiece as we go to the 4th. So Carter Hutchison now goes into his 4th inning of work. So far, he's given up 5 runs, 4 hits. Blake Seedig, the shortstop, checks in. Singled his first time up. And you've got Nate Mulligan, who's pretty much playing Seedig up the middle. There's a huge hole on that right side that if Seedig gets just a tad late, he could walk to first base, as Mulligan would have to go a long way. 0-1. And once again, Seedig is just a little out in front. And when I mean little, I want to say the ball probably touched the softball field right behind us. So gorgeous night. Only thing missing out here, some hot dogs, hamburgers, and some popcorn. Hutchison with the 0-2 count on Blake Seedig. Try to spin one, and that one missed upstairs, and Seedig not even close to chasing. Defensively, outfield playing medium depth. And that time comes right back with it and just misses. Goes 2-2. 2-2 pitch on Seedig. And that one just misses. And framing it well is Marshall Erpenbeck behind the dish. Now it goes to 3-2. Payoff. And this one launched to left field. And right there is Dean Snow. Dean Snow is there for the first out. Here comes Jet Carmen. Pop to center his first time up. Both teams so far, no team has gone 1-2-3. Could this be the first? Could this be the settling inning? First pitch. High bouncer, Reese, good hop, and we'll chuck it over, and a good throw. And now it's Julian Sanchez. Sanchez singled and was thrown out at second base trying to stretch that single to a double. He did advance the runner and Blake Seedig, but good play in the outfield by Dean Snow. And Sentinels defensively chopped him down, advancing. 1-0. Fastball. Outer half, dialed it up. Goes 1-1. Carter Hutchison looking for a scoreless frame, looking to go 1, 2, and 3. And that bounces back to the backstop as Pazinski picks it up. 2-1. That's upstairs. Now that Ben Franklin bench starting to make some noise. And a nice pitch by Hutchinson comes inside and darts one. Now it goes full. A big moment in this one. A potential 1-2-3 inning. Hutchison versus Sanchez. And that one's foul back. Sanchez stays alive. Defense, medium depth in the outfield. Mulligan playing Sanchez up the middle. Nate loves working that middle of the field, and that just misses off the plate. That gets the Ben Franklin bench going, and here comes Cruz Hansen. Doubled and struck out. So the first time up, first pitch fastball, stroked it to the wall and right. And then next time around, Hansen saw a heavy dose of breaking pitches. That time, fastball inside. Sanchez behind the dish, or at third base, I should say. And now Hansen locking in. Hutchison with a 1-0 count. And this one's skied up to the left side. Right there is a third baseman. And gloved and taken in by Chase Reese. And that'll do it. A good inning for Carter Hutchison. We go to the home half. 4-4 ball game between Ben Franklin and Seton Catholic. So Noah Donovan, who also plays on a basketball team, is getting all kinds of love from Carter Aby and Tom Lease and Ernie Cornea right now. Yeah. So you learn some new things about players all the time, and I never knew that Noah Donovan ate jelly beans with mashed potatoes on Thanksgiving, but supposedly that's the rumor going around. Jelly beans and mashed potatoes. If it works for him, sure, why not? Carb it up and add your dose of sugar with it. Noah Donovan, RBI doubles first time up, hit by a pitch his second time up. Looking to jumpstart the Sentinels. It'll be Donovan, Erpenbach, and Alex Gherkin against the left-hander. And that's a fastball that's off the plate, but on the corner by Colton Stechnik. Stechnik has had some mixed results. Gave up 3 in the first, 1 in the third. Big thing when he's missed right down the middle. He's got good stuff, just got a little bit more control on locating that fastball. 1-1. And that's a big cut, and Donovan swings right through it. Sentinels off to a 4-0 start, opening against a Santa Cruz Valley team, winning 10-5, followed by a 13-3 victory over Casa Grande, 8-6 over Maricopa, and McClintock, a 6-3 victory. And Noah Donovan getting all kinds of love as he gets hit by a pitch and works his way down to first base. Here is Marshall Erpenbeck. He's walked and struck out. Gets another crack against the lefty Colton Stushnik. And Donovan's got to be well aware. And that throw down. And a good bunt by Marshall. Sack bunt. Moves the runner to second base. Here's Alex Gherkin. Gherkin singled and bounced to short. Opportunity to plate a run, give the Sentinels the lead. Of course, the two JV teams played right before this. Good crowd on hand. A mixture of the Ben Franklin colors. You see some of the kids from the JV team for the Chargers stepping into the stands. And of course, the Seton fans decked out in red. 1-0 to Gherkin. Fastball misses inside. 2-0. Dean Snow on deck. Snow looking for his first base knock of the contest. Right side wide open. 2-0 pitch. That's a fastball. Maybe caught the letters. Umpire rang it up. Now 2-1. Donovan, decent lead at second base. That sails almost to the backstop. Moving quickly was Giovanni Sanchez to reel that in. Now a great hitter's count for Alec Gherkin. Just got to look for your pitch in your zone. Sometimes easier said than done, depending who you talk to. 3-1. And this one is smoked to left. And this one is going to the wall. A run will score on his way to second base and sliding in. Alec Gherkin flexing and delivering. His second hit of the night, and that gives the Sentinels a lead as Donovan scores. And now it's Dean Snow. And now one of the assistant coaches are going to come out and talk to Colton Stushnik, and that's going to do it. That's his night. Pitching change for Ben Franklin. Sentinels tag Stushnik for 5 runs. And now they go to the pen. And as they do, yours truly has got the binoculars, and that is number 23. And we're going to give you a name. As we dig in. For Ben Franklin. Number 23 is Jackson Mick, a freshman. So now Jackson Mick comes in a precarious situation. Sentinels threatening. So the Sentinels, great job. 5 runs on 8 hits. Did a really nice job against the lefty, Colton Stushnik. Now a new pitcher in. So stepping in is Colton Mick. Make that Jackson Mick, that is. And once again, Jackson Mick coming in relief, trying to hold things down. So now it's freshman versus freshman with Carter Hutchinson still in the game. Runner at second base. Jackson Mick gets an opportunity. First pitch, some gas. And that's against Dean Snow. Dean Snow is popped out, attempting to bunt, and walked. And back-to-back daggers by Jackson Mick. Not wasting a lot of time. He's the old-fashioned hum and throw. He's already looking in at Giovanni Sanchez. 0-2 pitch. And this one scorched down the right field line. And an opportunity for Dean Snow. He's got two easily. And Snow standing up. And a run comes in. And the Sentinels score yet again. Dean Snow, RBI double. And Sentinels batting around here. RBI double by Gherkin. RBI double by Dean Snow. Now it's Caden Miller. Miller singled his first time up. Takes a big, healthy, man-sized hack. Sentinels rallying for three in the bottom of the first. Three in the fourth, and now they're batting it again. And they're going to say that got a piece of Caden Miller. So things are starting to spin out of control for the Chargers.
I'm never the culprit when it comes to alley-oops.
Jacob Zyman. Singled. RBI his last time up. First and second for the Sentinels. High fastball. Jacob, first time up. Pop to left. Had some good at-bats. Young man, just got to put some more muscle on, hit the weight room, and lays off a pitch in the dirt. Show some patience. Sentinels plating a pair here. Big cut. So on your screen, Paulo Hutchinson has all these kind of designs. I'm wondering if they mean something. 1-2. That's upstairs. Out of curiosity, what are those things? What's the lower third? Paulo's going to come out and talk to me about it. And this one, driven to center. And driven fairly deep. But a good stroke by Jacob Zyman. See a lot of promise from this young man. Big time promise. And now it's Nate Mulligan. Line to right, bounced out to short a couple times. Choking up on the bat, looking to stick one somewhere. So Nate Mulligan, sometimes got some of the fans call him Nathan. His mom says Nathan. I call him Timothy Chalamet. And that goes right through the wickets of the shortstop. Bang, bang play, and the runner will score. And Nathan, his mom just said to me, comes through on the error by Blake Seedig. That went right through the wickets. And a big mistake. As it's now 7-4. Sentinels putting up a 3 spot here in the 4th. Jason Ruiz, 2 singles and a walk. And Jason lays off. Jason's had good at-bats tonight. Hasn't been fooled, bat head's been out. Has a good tight zone, in control. And that one gets away. And a run will come down, bang, bang play. And a run will come in. And getting dirty. Coming down with a purpose. Caden Miller. So the wheels have come off the tracks for the Chargers. And a runner at third base. Sack fly will bring him in. 2 outs, 2-0 pitch. And on this one, a little cue ball. And running hard down the line. And they finally retired Jason Ruiz. But what a tremendous inning for the Sentinels. They put up a 4 spot. They lead 8-4 with Carter Hutchison going back to the mound. So we go to the 5th. Where have all the good times gone? We have just powered along in this one. Back and forth, the fair. Chargers with 2 in the first. Sentinels with 3 in the bottom half. Scoreless second. Chargers with 2 in the third. Sentinels got a run, and then in the 4th, Sentinels put up a 4 spot. It's going to be Alex Pazinski, Owen Firestein, and if Colton Stechnik is still in. And Pazinski goes chasing, 1 out of the zone. Hutchison quickly goes to 0-1. And once again, Paulo, are you related to the young man on the mound? Have to ask. Paulo is wandering around. 0-1. Fastball off the plate. 1-1 count. Sentinels 4-0. Ben Franklin 2-1. Ben Franklin, newer school out in the Gilbert area. Getting better and better all the time in the sports they play. Sentinels coming off last year's season, 18-10. Losing in the second round of the playoffs, region play, they were great, 8-2. Brian Stevenson and his squad putting up another tremendous year. Lost in the playoffs to Gilbert Christian in a heartbreaker on the road. And I was there on the call, and that's one that they had numerous chances, just could not capitalize, and the season came to a crashing end. But that is in the past, and we're all about the present. 2-2. Fastball stairs. Flies out of the zone. 3-2. Hutch looking to get the first out. Pazinski, Firestein, and Stechnik. And this one drilled to left field. That's in the gap. That'll be extra bases for Pazinski. He'll stand up as the Sentinels get the ball back in. So a tremendous stroke by Pazinski. Just laced one in the left center field gap. Down the lines, 333. We're going to call about 370 in the gaps, and straight away, 375. So not as big as I thought. So in the gaps, call it maybe 350 or so. some point I'll get you the official Seton dimensions. Firestein at the dish. He skies one right. Right fielder is there, and Noah Donovan. Donovan makes the catch. Runner will tag up, bang, bang, play, and they got him. The Sentinels, Donovan to Mulligan, and the runner is out. Pazinski thrown out, and that was a situation right there for Pazinski. He's trying to be aggressive, but you're down 4 runs, and you can't afford to take that chance, and he is thrown out. So, tremendous play. We rule that 9-4-5 on the putout for the DP. So now, Stechny will not hit. It'll be Jackson Mick. And Mick's going to sky this one straight back over our head, and this one will go over to the softball field directly behind us. Colton Mick, a freshman, hitting .333, only 3 at-bats on this young season with an RBI. Skies that one out of play. A good crowd here tonight. Plenty of Sentinel fans. Student body out in force. 0-2, Hutchison to Mick. And the Sentinel fans were hoping Jackson Mick would chase, and Mick showing his ability to lay off. It goes to 1-2. And that is right to the left. And how about the play by Chase Reese? Looked like that ball was going to skid through, and Reese moved to his left like a jungle cat, hauled it in, and threw a laser to first base. So Carter Hutchison, 5 strong. He's got the lead, 8-4 going to the home half. So not only do I know that Carter Abey is a tremendous basketball coach, but I found out back in his day at Combs High School, he was on the cover of Teen Beat magazine when he had blonde hair and was rocking the hallways and owning the campus. Back to baseball, Chase Reese. Chase, infield single, got hit by a pitch and bounced out. And getting all kinds of love, of course, from Carter Abey, Tom Leese, and Ernie Cornea, the basketball coaches on hand. Tremendous threesome. Want to go have lunch with those guys sometime soon. And Chase starts the at-bat with one upstairs. Big thing, we see Chase wonder where Ashton is. And you can't stress enough that Chase Reese is a good basketball player. He can really shoot it and fill it from the outside. And now we're seeing Carter Abey, and you got Tom Leese in his Edmonton Oilers jersey, sporting the Oilers colors. And then you see me right to your left of your screen, dabbling the kind of teal color. Gorgeous night. T-shirt, appropriate. 1-2. That spins in the dirt. Goes to 2-2. This would have been a great night for someone grilling out. Some dogs and burgers, oh my goodness. They would have sold a fortune here. 2-2. And in case you know, when I start talking about food over and over again, that means I'm hungry. 3-2 to Chase Reese, leading off the bottom of the 5th. Chase stroll on down. Reese, Noah Donovan, and Marshall Eppenbeck. And Noah Donovan, who's been, I think I'm going to put the microphone and let Tom Lease call this next inning because Tom is doing a great job. Tom Lease just said that Noah Donovan has been hit by pitches back-to-back at bats, and that just shows you the IQ level of what Tom Lease could do on a microphone at any given point. We know what a tremendous basketball coach he is. Reese is going. Bang, bang play, and Reese is in. And once again, Chase Reese, moving like a jungle cat, goes 90 feet. Noah Donovan, opportunity. 2-run double in the first against Jackson Mick. And now Mick laboring with fastballs missing out of the zone. So glad you could join us right here on the Seton Catholic Sports Network. So, Paulo Hutchison, this is what I need you to do. Oh, and we have Ashton Reese. And one of my favorite players, Mr. Burns. Mr. Burns, straight from causing all kinds of chaos in Springfield. And it's back-to-back walks. And maybe we'll have Mr. Ashton Reese join us on the mic. And Marshall Erpenbach is coming up. He's got an opportunity to do some damage. He's walked, he struck out, sacrifice bunt. Sentinel's doing a nice job at the plate, 9 hits. Talking to Coach Brian Stevenson, talked about the youth of this team, but so far they are putting up some good numbers and they're getting good contact up and down the lineup. And that is the making of a good team. If you can get production 1 through 9, it makes you lethal. And Carter Hutchison getting the start tonight. He's giving him 5 strong for a freshman. Marshall with an opportunity. And that's upstairs. And Jackson Mick came in relief of Colin Stechnig. Started with some good control. Now he's kind of laboring. And this one blasted past the third baseman. And they're going to call the runner in. Bang, bang play. And that's not going to be close. And they throw the runner out on a tremendous throw by the left fielder and Jet Garman. And Reese is gunned down. So we'll give Erpenbach a base hit, and we're going to call Chase Reese out at home. And now it's Alec Gherkin. Gherkin, a single and a double, bounced to short. Sentinels taking some chances with the 8-4 lead, and now with 10 hits. Just doing a nice job, really mashing the ball and putting the ball in play. These have not been cheap hits. They have barreled the majority. Alec Gherkin, opportunity. Runners at first and second. Takes a fastball, and Jackson Mick, after getting some help from his left fielder, and Jet Garman coming up with a big toss. Now 0-1 on Gherkin. And this one right off the leg of the pitcher, and they're going to throw down, and now we're going to stop play to look at the health status of Jackson Mick, who took a laser off his foot. And no question, he's coming up gimpy, and now the pitching coach is going to come out. We're going to take a moment. So Jackson Mick, who took a shot off his ankle or the lower part of his leg, he's staying in. He's going to gut this one out. And I applaud the young man and who took a hard shot off the body, off the bat of Alex Gherkin. So the Sentinels can really blow this one open. Now it's Dean Snow, doubled and an RBI to go with a walk. He's 1 for 2 on the night. Big chance here. And he scorches one down the third base line. And he did not fool anyone on that. Jackson Mick, if he continues to throw that fastball right there, the Sentinels are just on top of it. 0-1. And that time he took something off, and it quickly goes to 0-2 on Dean Snow. Caden Miller on deck. Sentinels only 1 out. In the bottom of the 5th. And this one is scorched, and that one will drop. 1 run is in. They'll hold the runner. And Dean Snow, couple big knocks on the night. And now it's Caden Miller. Caden with a chance to do some damage. Hit by a pitch. Singled in the first. And knocks one to CD at short. And the second baseman double clutched, and that brings in another run. So another run comes in. Now 10-4. And here comes Jacob Zyman. And Jacob's had good at-bats. Here's a young man who all he needs to do is hit the weight room, but he can stroke it. Pop to left, RBI single, and then pop to center. But he's not getting fooled. And he's, young man's got some talent. Inside pitch, and the runner will stroll down to second base. No throw from Giovanni Sanchez. Trying to keep that runner at third in case the Sentinels were trying to pull the delayed steal at third. 1-0, Jackson Mick against Simon. Slow bouncer, third baseman, the scoop and the toss over. And Ben Franklin ends the inning, but not until the Sentinels tack on 2 more. They do some damage. Dean Snow with an RBI base knock. We go to the 6th. Carter Hutchison going back to the bump. He's got a 6-run lead. Sixth inning from Seton Catholic, John Alejandro Field. Talon Spire now getting his third at bat. RBI single, couple stolen bases in the first, struck out in the third. Will get his 4th at bat. A tremendous athlete, also plays on a basketball team. Ben Franklin, a tremendous run in the Copper Division, losing to Valley Christian by 2 points in the later rounds. Spire takes one across the letters. And how about Carter Hutchison? Shook off a couple bad innings and just continues to throw. And if Brian Stevenson can get this kind of performance from this young man, it's going to add another weapon down the stretch to make this Sentinels team so tough come postseason. Make no mistake, Brian Stevenson and his team, they're in the playoffs every year. And by the scope and the look of this team this year, by the offense, they're going to have a chance. They're going to score runs. Matter of fact, I'm going to say this with the utmost confidence, and now calling Seton athletics probably my third or fourth spring. Lost count. Got to remember, I was born before man discovered fire. Slow roller, bang, bang play. And down Spire, sliding in, and it's going to be unassisted by the first baseman for the out. Giovanni Sanchez. Bounced out and popped up. His third look against Carter Hutchison, who's gotten better as this game has progressed. And that's the best thing, as Sanchez takes a healthy hack. And that was above the shoulders, which is always such the hardest pitch to hit. Gets under it, slow chopper, and cannot be made on the pickup. A one-handed attempt by Jason Ruiz. So we'll give Sanchez the infield single. Blake Seedig singled and popped to left. Tremendous night, gorgeous. Beautiful temperatures, tremendous night for baseball. We've had just the best, and I mean, this might be the best winter in my time of Arizona. I think we might have had maybe a couple days of cold weather, but nothing really bad. It's been just pretty much San Diego-like weather. Today was a little warm, but now you walk outside and you could easily have the shorts on in March, and that's, once again, a blessing. That's why we live here. Hutch dots the black, goes to 1-1. Sentinels, after tonight, they go to Human Catholic tomorrow, so they got a long way to go. Then they got Push Ridge Christian Academy back home. I want to say that's on Thursday, and this one is skied to left. On his giddy up, and right there with the opportunity, and he could not make the play in left, was Dean Snow. That ball hung up forever, and a tough play for Snow. And Seedig gets on the error. Jet Carmen flew out to center, bounced out to short. And now Hutch has to work himself out of minor trouble. He's got 6 runs to play with, so just focus on the out. And right now, Ben Franklin is not helping their cause, swinging at pitches out of the zone. And it's hard. You're down 6, you want to hit. Got runners on, fastball looks good, and instead of dialing in and knowing your zone, trying to get that belt-high pitch, some of these young men are trying to chop down the big giant apple tree. 1-1. Hutch dialed in. Nice pitch, low fastball. Had Garmin chasing. Goes to 1-2. Now you got to wonder if Carter will pull the string with a couple on. 1-2, here it is. Same pitch, that's just worked outside. 2-2. On deck is Julian Sanchez. Then it goes back to the top of the order with Cruz Hansen. 2-2 pitch. Throws the bender and had Garmin out in front. Seton bench having a good time over there. bouncing up and down. 2-2.
I saw on AC Preps, he can't pitch until the
Nathan Milligan, tied at second base. Grounder, Reese, 6, 4, and 3. And the Sentinels turn the 6-4-3 double play, and Connor Hutchinson pumped as he comes off the bump. Great job by the freshman. Tremendous D, Reese, Nate, and the pick over at first base by Gherkin. The Sentinels turn a pair, and we go to the home half with a 6-run lead.
No, but I'll come to one. Bad team or good team?
So tomorrow the volleyball team opens up at home, taking on St. John Paul. A lot of good athletes on the men's volleyball team, and Robert Burns is one of them. And Jackson Heim, also a member of the basketball team. He plugs that middle. Sentinels playoff run last year, looking to make another run this year. And it's going to be our good friend coming up as Freddie the Flamingo, looking all presidential.
All right, before we get you in trouble.
Is that what that was? He was presidential? So that's presidential Freddie making executive orders right there. And Nate Mulligan. So, Paulo, can you come up with this graphic for me for the next baseball game? Can you put Nate Mulligan on a 2-box, his face on one side, and Timothy Chalamet on the other? Please. That's what we have to do. Because I've got to see it. And that way we can talk about it. 0-1 count. Nate looking for a base knock. Line to right, bounced out to short 3 times. That's outside. And Jackson Mick, can't say enough about this young man, laboring after taking a shot off his leg. And once again, this is bounced to short. Good hop and the throw over. Good play, and Nate is retired. So I think I know what Paulo was trying to say. That's Mr. Burns, Freddie style. Correct? I got it. Let's call that one up again. Let's call that one up one more time, if we can. We got time as Jason Ruiz. And once again, in spirit of Robert Burns is here. This is Freddie the Flamingo, Mr. Burns, right there. Right there. And the great thing about Robert Burns is one of the most well-spoken, nice young men you're ever going to meet, but as this one is scorched down the right field line, and this is going to drop. It's going to be extra bases, and once again, Jason Ruiz, a 3-hit night for Ruiz. A tremendous outing for him. Now it's Chase Reese. Chase with an infield single, got hit by a pitch, bounced out, and walked. So through all that, he's 1 for 2 on the night. And the Sentinels yet with another runner in scoring position. I'm impressed. Got to tell you, they're swinging the bat well. Got a good-looking team, a lot of players that can put the ball in play. That's the biggest thing. High school baseball is putting the ball in play, making contact, putting pressure on the defense. But the Sentinels tonight, the majority of the balls they've hit, they've barreled. And that one outside corner. And Jason Ruiz, 3 hits on the night. He's been outstanding. He's just been money. First 2 hits, he barreled and throw back, and Jason, a learning moment for him as he gets picked off. And that was just maybe just a tad careless, getting picked off.
Pick up a teammate here.
Now Reese and Chase smacks one foul down the left field line. Goes to 1-2. Chase, Ashton Reese is here. Maybe we're going to have Ashton Reese join us on the microphone. He's hovered behind me. Right between innings, Ashton is lining up. And I think at first Ashton was, and that's a play made down the left field line. I think Ashton didn't know what to expect the first couple times. I grabbed him for a conversation, but Ashton, over the course of time, personality came out. Now he's loose. Now he's got a smile on his face. He's like, you know what? That Joe guy, he's not going to hurt me. Joe's my friend. I want to talk to Joe. And we have Ashton Reese who's going to join me right now, as looks like we're going to have a pitching change for the Sentinels. And before we grab young Ashton Reese to talk to him about life, liberty, and the pursuit of academic and athletic success, your new pitcher on the mound is going to be Caden Miller, who we had the chance to see him in the course of the lineup. And now I've got Ashton Reese, who joins us now. And Ashton, first off, congratulations on a fantastic year in basketball, tremendous run, making it to the 3A semifinals. Your thoughts on how special the year was, and the moments and the great memories you had along the way.
I mean, it was amazing. It was an amazing experience. I got to bond with, it was basically my family at the time. We really all had a good connection with each other, and we really made a big push, and it's a big success for our school.
Yeah, no question. Big success, making it all the way to the semifinals. And of course, lifelong memories, but what was it like to also have your brother on the team with you as well? Your brother, outstanding baseball player, out there showing his worth, knocking down threes and being alongside and talking to your mom and your dad. They felt that for Chase, he wanted to come out and have you and play with his brother. And what was that like for you and him to be suiting up together?
It was actually amazing. I'm super glad he played. It was amazing having him there with me. We kind of went through everything together, and it really helped us bond. And yeah, I'm grateful for him. Yeah,
so next year you're going to be a nucleus along with Ryan Morris and Henry Miller coming back. And, you guys did such tremendous things this year. Strong nucleus. Your thoughts of this Sentinels team led by the great Carter Abey and of course, all the good young pieces you have coming back next year, and what this team could potentially accomplish next year?
I think we all know, we have the belief to win, and we obviously have a great coach who will help us get there, and I believe in us for next year. That's
great. As we go and look at Ben Franklin in this 7th inning, and for the Chargers, going to be Julian Sanchez, Cruz Hansen, and Alex Pazinski, and Sanchez has singled and walked in his 3rd plate appearance, and now you got the fireballer who's coming in and firing some gas, and Caden Miller, the right-hander, is showing his worth. So kind of give me your off-season, Ashton. You did some great things, basically, as this one is scorched to left, and once again, getting another quality AB was Julian Sanchez, who did not miss on that fastball as Cruz Hansen comes in. Give us kind of your thoughts on your season and how you grew as a player. Basically, you averaged pretty much a double-double down the stretch of the year, and your thoughts of where you started, where you finished, and how important your off-season is to get ready for the fall.
I just know some things I got to work on. I got to be ready for next year. I'm going to be playing on, club basketball in the off-season, so I'll be ready for fall time, yeah.
Yeah, and that being said, you're a guy who stays in good shape, and I'm sure Carter's stressing it. Give me kind of the outlook of, as this one is skied, and this one's probably going to get out of play on that left side, and was not caught on that left side. Give us kind of your thoughts of you and becoming really close and good friends with the weight room in the summertime.
Oh, that's going to be my best friend during the summer. I'm going to hit it. Work out every single day. I got to get big for next year, because they're going to need me next year.
Yeah. Is it about what's the expectations? A good solid 10? Is that what you're hoping for?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that'd be perfect.
Yeah. Runner takes second on the pass ball. So, meanwhile, new pitcher and Sentinels trying to close this one out in 7 innings. So, give us kind of the stretch run. You know, go watch the volleyball team and Robert Burns and Jackson Heim taking on St. John Paul tomorrow.
Yeah, I'll probably go watch them tomorrow and Friday probably. I'm excited to see what they can do. Hopefully they can make a big push in the playoffs this year too.
And did you ever think about playing volleyball with your height and your athleticism?
Yeah, I thought about it, but I figured I should stick to basketball and focus on that because I feel like I'd be better at that.
And Paulo once again with the timeless Grok graphic. That might be one of your best. And that is the always outstanding Ashton Reese, high chopper. Nate will toss it over, and Sentinels are 1 out away. Ashton, always a pleasure. Join me anytime.
Yes, sir.
And tell your mom and dad I said hello. That is Ashton Reese, star
you so
basketball
much.
player for the Sentinels. And now it's one last out, and it comes down to Owen Firestein. Firestein has, as we look at his box score, I'm going to say he is, because in my own taking of this game, and I'm only a handful of baseball games in, not fully on target, so we're going to say he's looking for his first base hit of the night against Caden Miller. So here we go. Runner at third base, 2 outs. Miller throwing that fastball on the outside part of the plate. Goes to 2-0. Outfield, medium depth. Sentinels looking to go 5-0. And that's going to hit Firestein. He'll walk down to first base. And now checking in for Ben Franklin, it's going to be Jackson Mick. And they're going to let Mick hit. And rightfully so. Young man came in for, or maybe Mick is not going to hit. Or maybe Mick is going to get his favorite bat. Yeah, he's going to bring out, what was the bat in the natural, Paulo? Was it Lucky Boy? Was it Lucky Boy? Remember the bat he used? He had a name, it was like Lucky Boy or something like that. Needs to say, Colt Mick went back, he got a different bat. Okay, that's going to change things up. Runner's going to go, that doesn't matter. Bouncer down the third base line, that's foul. So, runners at first and third, and Miller on the mound just trying to get this final out. Caden Miller, he can bring the gas as we kind of dabble in his pitching stats. 0-1 count to Jackson Mick. That fastball misses outside. So as we look at Wonder Boy, that was it. From the natural, the Wonder Boy, the bat. And that is fouled off. So Tom Lees is calling out Ashton Reese, making sure he goes he goes to the gym. 1-2 count. Caden Miller. 1-0 on the year. Runners going. And that is fouled off to stay alive. Miller made 1 start. ERA of 7 coming in. And Miller trying to close this one out for Carter Hutchinson, who's in line to pick up the win. 1-2. Bender just misses. Sentinels fans wanted it, and just a hair out of the zone. 2-2. Here it is. And this one is Foul down the left field line. And Jackson Mick is trying to prolong the game, and now the field is being attacked by a giant head in the bottom right corner of your screen. So if the field all of a sudden gets chewed up, you know why. 2-2. Jackson Mick against Caden Miller. And that's a high bounce to the third. Ruiz, the toss over, and the good play at first base by Gherkin. And the Sentinels get it done by the count of 10-4. A tremendous game. How about Carter Hutchison, the night he had? 6 strong, allowing only 4 runs. Caden Miller comes out, throws a scoreless 7th inning, and the Sentinels improve to 5-0. Sentinels got it going with a Noah Donovan 2-run double in the first. Jacob Zimet added an RBI single in the third. Then in the fourth, Dean Snow, an RBI double. Alec Gherkin, an RBI double. Snow again in the fifth, an RBI double. Jason Ruiz with 3 hits. Sentinels pound out 13 hits and win by the count of 10-4 as we say goodbye to our good friend Carter Abey. Sentinels now 5-0. Next up, they are on the road at Yuma Catholic. For Paulo Hutchison on the live stream, to Brian Stevenson and his great baseball team and all the good people here at Seton Catholic. I'm Joe Pequeno. Good night for the Sentinels. They improved to 5-0. They got a team. They can stick the ball. Best looking Seton baseball team offensively since I've been here. Best of luck to this young team this year. It's a journey, but right now they're on the strong path. A 10-4 victory over Ben Franklin. I'm Joe Pequeno, everyone. Have a great evening. This has been a presentation of Seton Catholic Athletics.